How much is it to get married in the Philippines? Well, it's really cheap if you want to get married in the Philippines. You can get married in the Philippines and pay $4 to $5 USD, depending on which province you're gonna get married. All you have to do is go to the city hall with your Filipina fiance and get your marriage license and pay $4 to $5 USD. If you're a foreigner, do not get married in the Philippines. If you do, it will apply to their law and will force you to pay alimony and child support. And if you're a Filipina, be careful when marrying certain foreigners. Because there's a chance they won't marry you, they will only have baby with you. And they're gonna leave you without any alimony and child support. And the reason why a lot of foreigners goes to the Philippines is because a lot of them are running away from their responsibilities in their country. I mean, isn't it your responsibility to pay alimony and child support when you get someone pregnant? And by the way, ladies, especially Filipinas, here in Canada, even if the guy will not marry you and you guys or you both have children together and something happened that you broke up or end up being separated, the men still have to pay child support. And I'm not really sure what's the law in the other country, but here in Canada, yeah, paying child support, getting married or not, is a must. And I know in the Philippines, when you get pregnant by a Filipino, often a lot of Filipino will run away from you. It's the same thing with foreigners. If they will get you pregnant and they will decide to run away from you, they also have a choice not to give you child support. And that is why when you meet a foreigner and you will decide to have a kid together, make sure that he marries you first. And I know many of you will not really care of getting married as long as you have that genes with the foreigner, but at the end of the day, it's up to you. If you get a vasectomy, you'll never have to pay child support. If you don't get married, you won't have to pay alimony. I wish I knew this at 18. Men, take note. Just have fun all your life. Okay, let me tell you something, especially to those foreigners who wants to marry a Filipina in the Philippines. So if you're a foreigner who wants to marry a Filipina, and let's just say you don't want to have kids anymore because A, you already have kids, B, you are old enough to have kids, and C, you just don't want to have kids anymore. Now, let's just say you're an older guy and you probably had a vasectomy or you don't want to have kids at all. But for some reason, you want to marry someone who's super duper young, maybe 10 times younger than your age. And then you tell her, you know what, I really like you, but I want you to know I don't want to have kids anymore. But maybe she's young or she could be desperate. And most of all, she doesn't have any kids yet of her own. And then she will tell you, you know what, okay, that's fine. I'm not gonna have kids, just marry me, because maybe in her mind, it's her opportunity to go to your country at the same time. And on top of that, you're older than her, and of course, she's longing to be spoiled by you. Now, you take her to your country and she's a Filipina. And note that most Filipina I know wants to have kids. It doesn't matter if they're gonna tell you, okay, I'm not gonna have kids, but let's just be happy together. Nope, don't believe that. And when she gets to your country, eventually she will get bored. Her Filipina mother instinct will eventually kicks in. And she's gonna start telling you, you know what? I changed my mind. I wanna have kids. So what's gonna happen? You're gonna end up having problems. You're gonna end up having arguments. And more likely, there's a chance that she's going to cheat on you behind your back because she does want to have kids. I'm telling you this because it already happens to a lot of Filipina. So there's a Filipina I know who married an older guy. And the older guy told her, I cannot have kids anymore. So just so you know, we're not gonna have kids. But of course, she was young. She was desperate. She wants to go to the country. And the moment that she got to her country, at first she was happy because she was so excited to be with her husband. But then eventually she got bored because I want you to know that we Filipinos are very family oriented. Most of the time or sometime we function better if we have families around, especially having our own babies. Now, because the guy had vasectomy and he could not have kids anymore, what did she do? She cheated behind her back and she ended up getting pregnant, and they ended up getting divorced, and she ended up being with the guy who got her pregnant. And this is exactly why I want to tell you that if you don't want to have kids anymore, it's better if you marry a Filipina who is single mom. And if you end up marrying a single mom, and of course she already have her own kids, and since you told her you don't want to have kids anymore because A, you got vasectomy, or B, you already have kids of your own and you just want to enjoy your life being with her. And I'm gonna tell you that 99.9% of the time, she will be okay not having kids with you anymore because she has her own kids already. And most of the time, she will just focus on her kids and with you at the same time. And that is why I don't recommend you to marry a super young Filipina and you don't want to have kids, because you will face the consequence. So it's better that you listen to me now and thank me later. Otherwise, you will say in the future, years from now, I should have listened to you. Well, guess what? You did not. After hearing your story, why would I want to marry a Filipina? I will just have fun with them and go back home. Well, after reading your comment, that's totally fine. After all, it is your body. And when you go to the Philippines and have fun fooling around with the ladies, I'm pretty sure that the ladies will have fun with you too. And in their mind, oh yeah, another customer, another foreigner, and more money. And I wonder how many foreigners they had fun that day before they had fun with you. So yes, you can definitely go to the Philippines, have fun with the ladies. After all, it's your own money and it's your own body, and most of all, it's your own decision. And in a way, it's a win-win situation. How much is it to get divorced in the Philippines? Well, as we all know, there is no divorce in the Philippines. However, the Philippines has made significant progress towards legalizing divorce. Based on my research, the House of Representatives approved the absolute divorce bill just this year, last May. So let me read to you guys what I read. So it says here, the bill outlines specific grounds for divorce, such as legal separation, annulment, prolonged separation, psychological incapacity, and instances of domestic abuse. However, the bill still needs to pass the Senate, where previous attempts have stalled due to strong position from the Catholic Church and conservative lawmakers. Currently, the Philippines remain one of the few places in the world alongside the Vatican where divorce is not legally available, making marriage dissolution a lengthy and complex process. If the bill becomes law, it will provide an alternative to annulment and legal separation, offering a more straightforward route for couples in irreparably broken marriages. Another thing you can do is annulment, legal separation, as well as declaration of nullity. However, if the Filipina was married to a Muslim, then she is allowed to have a divorce because Muslims obtain a divorce law. And that, my friend, was my research.